Deathwatch.
Hello, and welcome back to Dresden Files production by Deathwatch Productions. I'm Brandon, I'll be the game master, and we'll introduce our players, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Zach Meyer, aspiring apprentice mage, and I almost gave my introduction for Prophecies of Dusk and Dawn when Travis clapped.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Martin Caputi, retired Baltimore detective, currently on the case of a murder that occurred at neutral grounds, trying to find my unrequited love, Diane. That's it.
And I'm John playing Sean Barnes, and I don't really have any real opening intro.
Should have just laid down a bass line.
Or howled.
Right.
Okay, so we ended last session. You had gone to Eric McCullough's house in the Victory Green or East Green neighborhood, and busted in the place and found Diane's current boyfriend tied up in a chair in an otherwise empty house. And Zach had undone the ward that was in place there, and you guys had set him loose, and that's where we ended. So that's where we'll pick it back up again. So this guy, Frank...
McCullough.
No, Eric McCullough is the guy you're chasing.
Frank Williams.
Frank Williams is Diane's current romantic interest. But, so Diane's missing, and now you're here at Eric's house and find her current boyfriend tied up on a chair in the room of this house. So what do you do?
Current boyfriend, huh? Time
Start
to make
with
him
the pistol whip.
die in captivity.
So he's like, he's barely with it.
Right.
He's been roughed up really bad. So, he's got bruises and contusions. Someone put the boots to him. And so he's sort of like fading in and out.
Well, I think we need to call a doctor for him. Get him to a doctor's anyway.
Yeah. And it might be quicker if we take him ourselves in this neighborhood. I don't know. Is that true? How's
Got a good point. Give us a chance to...
Yeah. From your days on the force, they'll take their sweet time coming here.
Also potentially give us a chance to ask some questions on the way.
Yeah, maybe he'll calm down in the comfort of your station wagon.
Or should we search the rest of the house?
Yeah, let's take a quick look, see if we can find anything of note.
Should we split up? Should you search the rest of the house while I start taking them to the doctors?
Okay. Or how big is this place?
So these projects were set up as 2-story little townhomes, basically. So, they're not large, but it does have a second story.
Okay. Well, I don't much like the idea of being stranded here.
No.
If you leave. Maybe we can take a quick look while you're loading them up. Sean and I? Yes.
Well, Sean, if it'd be all right with you, load up Frank and I'll stick with you.
Okay.
There was a ward in this room. What was it? Blasting?
It was a landmine. It would have exploded, probably blew up the whole house.
There was a very powerful or potent explosive ward in that room that I dispersed before we entered into it. So whoever's doing this, or whoever tied him up at the very least, is some sort of wizard. Or what's the
sorcerer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be more in here that we have to worry about?
That's why I'm going to stick with you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, let's do that. And then if you say it's clear, I'll take a look with my quick eye. People say I have a quick eye. It's a stunt.
Okay. So you're going to search the place?
Yeah, I think, assuming Sean agreed to taking Frank out to the car.
Yeah, I'll take him out to the car.
Don't worry.
To the car.
Right.
The keys are in the ignition.
No, we're not going to have a car.
No one's going to steal that.
Thieves have standards too. All right, so we're probably, looking for something else of interest. And in my case, I think if I could find a physical object that maybe I can do some psychometry if I nab it at some point.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I don't really know what we're searching for. We're just kind of looking at what might jump out at us. Maybe give a clue that Diane was maybe here at some point, or
Yeah, so I'll stick to
his manifesto.
the spiritual realm. While he's looking for something of a physical nature, I'll see if there's anything that maybe magical that can help out
Okay.
or lead us there, or also, keep an eye out for wards. Like, I don't know if is there some sort of like tracking that can be done in this through the astral plane. I'm just going to talk in Shadowrun.
Well, no, there is a way if you have, property or, well, I think it might require blood.
Okay.
If you have a person's blood or true name, I think you can track them. But the way that a true name works in this is even though you know her true name is whatever, there's like a very specific way of even pronouncing it that you have to do.
Okay.
You don't just know it just because you know her name, right? But yeah, there is a way. If you can find something that belongs to her. Okay. So you guys go start looking for that. And then, Sean, you're going to be getting him out to the car.
Yeah, I'll try to get him out to the car and get him up in. What are we driving? You said a station wagon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get him in the very back of it.
All right. So when you go to pick him up and get him out of that chair, he is in and out of consciousness, but he keeps muttering under his breath, and you do hear him say the name Diane, and then a couple of times you hear him say the fort.
You said the fort or la fort?
Yeah, the fort.
The fort. All right. If he was French, I'd have to put him back.
Le Fort.
And then as far as searching the place while he's working on getting him out of the chair, there's absolutely nothing here on the first floor. I mean, the only thing is that chair.
Kind of like crack house.
Yeah.
Does the fort mean anything to me? Have I heard of that before?
Yeah, there's Fort McHenry in town.
Military's got her. Just whisper she's got her.
No. It's an old, like, historical fort, like Fort Boise.
That's even worse. Historical
Yeah.
military's got her.
They do spooky tours.
It's like a tourist attraction, yeah.
Women didn't last long in 1800s military forts. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, so on the first floor anyway, there's nothing. If you do you want to go upstairs?
Yeah, we'll head up to the second, take a quick look.
Okay.
I guess if I need to make a roll, the examination trappings for investigation would be what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, so, but as you're both headed toward, or on the stairs, starting to head up, and Sean's got Frank up and he's bundling him towards the door, somebody steps in that open front door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so, Sean, you turn around and you see there's a young African-American male, dressed pretty nice, and he's stepped in, and you can see people behind him, other forms behind him in the darkness outside.
Is this the
And he says, what the hell's going on here?
Honorable Wallace Gibbs?
This man is injured. Give me a hand, kid.
So he keeps coming in, and he's got this air about him. It's very menacing. Like you notice it right away. Not like crazy, just, he walks in as if he's used to being in charge. And then those other forms, they come in behind him. So you can see there's at least 4 other young men that come in with him. And they're all carrying guns. He's not, at least that you can see, but the ones behind him have shotguns. And he says, let me repeat myself. What the hell's going on here? See, I don't remember.
This was just Sean that he was kind of interacting, or did it?
Well, he can see all of you from.
Okay, so we're like,
Yeah, you
looking
guys
at
are
the
like
stairs.
up on this, like starting up the steps
Okay.
when he walks in. And
Oh,
he says,
I
I
got-
don't recall giving anybody permission to break into this house.
well, I think we all have reasons to start talking first. So I speak first, think later. You have an air of superiority. Who's going to be the one?
I got rapport.
Yeah, go for it. Let's game the system.
Yeah, so go ahead.
You want me to make a roll? Or do you
What
want
are
me
you What are you rolling for?
This would be rapport, just
Okay.
getting on the good side.
Yeah.
He's trying to. So it starts at a 3, 4, so great.
Okay.
And I'll just be like, my friend, I'll point to Frank, getting carried out by Sean, called me and told me to get out here. Party a little too hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're pointing to Frank?
Yeah.
Is
No, just
that's-
out here.
Okay.
Looking for, what was his name, Travis? The guy who we think can...
Eric.
Looking for Eric. Gonna say hi to him before I take off.
Okay. All right.
Is this the first impressions trapping?
Is that what you're doing?
I don't know. I was looking as that because I'm still not certain if when we use a skill, like we have to use a trapping or.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's something else then.
Well, my actual first instinct is to blast, but I'll have to talk because I can't kill a bunch of mundane
Oh, man.
with magic or I'll get executed.
He's criminal scum. This is the notorious Wallace.
All right. So
Gibbs.
what we're in is a social conflict here.
Okay.
So you can use, and based on what you said, you should be using deceit instead of report, right?
I see.
If you're not telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. Much like how a dwarf is always lawful good, I
Right.
never lie as a player. It's impossible.
Yeah. So here's how this works. You'll actually be using that as a defense against him trying to get a read on you. So where are you?
215. Let's read about that.
Yeah. All right. So what is his?
Zones and movement. So is this like where you'll do like stress damage to each other until somebody gets too stressed out? They'll be like, fine. Have it your way.
I'm already on edge because I dispelled that ward.
Is it a different because you have the social stress track?
Social? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. I'm sitting at 2.
Same. All mine are too, so I just get stressed out pretty easy. Why are retired?
George Costanza.
Okay, so what you got a great, you said?
Yeah.
And what? Let's see. We're talking about Zach here. Oh, can I have those chips?
Mm.
I always forget that. One sec.
We could use other dice.
Chips are cooler.
I agree. We use pepperoni sticks. I know the book says not to
Yeah.
use edible stuff, but I mean, I haven't really listened to him yet. Thank you. Can I challenge him to a race? Can we solve this through some sort of general athletic?
Well, we'll see. So,
That's not athletic.
Zach, I'll offer you this fate point.
I already have
Do it.
4. Can I go over my cap?
Yeah.
Suckers.
So, Zach, one of your aspects is arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he comes in, demanding answers and looking like he owns the place just really doesn't sit right with you at all.
Okay.
And, you're an apprentice wizard, for crying out loud. If you wanted to, you could probably blast these people all to smithereens, even though it would violate the law. But yeah, you don't like his tone at all.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have to change much of what I said.
Yeah, like like, who the F are you? Or,
Yeah, like I'm here at my good buddy Eric's house picking up my other good buddy, Frank. Who are you? Just walking in. I've never heard of you.
Oh.
Pimp name Slickback or something like You always got to say the full thing, by the way.
Martin, I'll offer you this fate point.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Suckers.
You don't even know what the negative is.
You're not supposed to.
Martin, Zach answered, but so do you, because you speak first and think later.
Right.
And so you didn't know what he was going to say when Zach answered. So your answer is in contradiction.
To what Zach said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, his, for what we were doing?
Yeah.
Oh, what would I say to explain myself to this person?
Fall back to your cop stuff.
Put your hands
That'd be
down
sure
and
to
your
kiss.
ankles up on the counter.
Yeah, so I guess as he's saying that, like, who are you? I'll be like, this is a crime scene, right? Police are going to be swarming this place any minute. If you know what's good for you, you'll get out of here.
Okay. So yeah, you guys both say your answers at the same time.
And we're like, this is our
Ramping
friend.
my style here.
Sorry. I did it for the fate. So much fate.
And I don't spend it.
I think what I would, because I don't have any social skills besides contact set up yet. I think there's a command trapping for one of them that I think I'll pencil in now if that becomes prevalent. Let me take a look at it. Let me just scroll through this this table of contents. I'll find skills in no time.
Just Control F and search it. It's the only way this
Right.
book works.
I know. Yeah. So presence is what the skill I was thinking of penciling in it. Fair, if that becomes important.
Okay. Yeah, so the social stress track is modified by the presence skill, which represents the resilience of a character's persona to hostile influence. Right? So we're in a social contest here. And essentially, what this stress track represents in a social conflict is you basically losing your nerve to keep up with the,
Yeah, so I do that a lot. I feel like I lose my nerve. I guess that's why Martin has a gun. But yeah, as I'm saying that, I'm leaning into that old tone of authority I was used to using when press were edging a little bit too close to the crime scene or, looky-loos were around, that sort of thing. Do I have any sort of suspicion about who this guy is? Because I knew of him when you told me about this area.
Oh yeah, you're sure this is probably the lizard who runs this neighborhood. Lizard Gibbs. Okay, so you would need, so you're given this answer, so you're going to need to roll your social, what do you got? Like,
so I was thinking about
you'd
using
be
the
looking
presence
for-
skill. It could just be, looks like charisma. Yeah, that sounds more passive.
you're looking for a deceit, intimidation, rapport, or maybe empathy can be used.
Oh, okay.
This is a crime scene.
Okay.
Although there might be other situations where another skill such as conviction or contacts may be a better fit. So, I mean, I'd say contacts for you.
Okay.
Like maybe somebody knows, then you can say, hey, I knew a guy who said you were okay.
I could say the
Whatever,
guy. I could say like whoever works this area.
Yeah.
I could say he's like a personal friend of mine. He's gonna be down here. I'm sure you know him too, right?
Okay.
Right, that sort of thing.
All right. So roll that skill, but he rolled higher on his, so you'd get a stress point.
Okay.
And you're using it as an attack essentially against his, so it'll be opposed.
Yeah, let me see. Never mind, I don't. Yeah, I'll just go for it. +1. So I rolled a great again. Thank you.
All right, so you say,
Yeah, I know Detective such and such.
yeah.
They're on their way now. This is a crime scene. You do best to clear out.
Glover.
Right.
Okay.
Detective Glover.
Detective Glover will go with it.
You see his eyes start moving as he's thinking, but then he stops and, he squares himself up again. He says, nobody comes in here without my permission. And I want to know what the hell you guys are doing here. And I want the truth. Now, Sean, it's your turn to go. If you have a social skill you want to use. Like, what do you want to say or do? And nothing is an option. I mean, you could just stand there and wait and see what happens. Otherwise, you'd be looking at deceit, empathy,
Don't really have any social skills.
intimidation.
I think this is where we can plug it into our open, fair, or average slots.
Rapport.
Intimidation
I
seems
do
like
have
a good one for a werewolf.
intimidation. Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just up to you if you think that's a wise thing to do, which, if you think so, go ahead.
What's the worst that can happen? I'll get killed. He'll blast him to smithereens. And he'll
Yeah, I
go-
mean, there are 4 guys with shotguns.
yeah.
That does play a part in your decision,
Yeah,
hopefully.
thinking they're not just going to back off because some bassist is carrying a dude. Now, if I had my bass guitar, maybe that'd be a little different.
Different story. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm carrying a Gary. Is that what his name is?
Frank.
Like that, Frank. Yeah, no one gets intimidated.
That's
Frank.
what you say. You just say, this is Gary.
Frank's as good as a Gary.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let them see if they can talk our way out.
Just sneak past him with
Excuse
with
me.
Frank.
I said this guy needs medical attention. And start pushing my way out. No, I'll. I imagine I'm in the entryway here, right?
Yeah, I think you were closest to these guys coming in.
You're not very far from them. I mean, they are blocking the door.
Yeah, I'll. How far back is that entrance to the room that we just pulled this guy out of, or was it like a more of an open?
It is. It's really open. There's not really a separation, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a tiny little wall with a pillar, like in the houses on 19th.
Yeah, is he continuing to walk forward, or?
No, they're all standing there blocking the door now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll.
And they're about equal distance from you and from your companions up on the stairs there.
I'll stand there with Frank for a minute.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So he had stepped forward, and these guys sort of like, they're raising they're not pointing their shotguns yet, but they're raising them up to their shoulders and getting ready. And he's like, last chance. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
And he sees the guy, he sees Frank, and he's like, wait a minute. That's not who is renting this place from me. Who are you? But Frank can't really answer.
Right.
Because he's just like in and out. But he's like, that's not the guy I rent this place to. Who? I don't recognize any of you. What the hell is going on here? And where's Eric?
We'd like to know that answer, too.
Wonder how many magic points it takes for me to slam tectonic plates together
Right.
and cause an upheaval here. What can I do with earth magic, Brandon? That won't obliterate these people.
All right. Well, we'll have to look at it. Essentially, the way that they've set this up is it's not like individual spells. It's basically you decide what effect you want to have within a set of parameters. So we'll have to look at it here.
Well, while he's getting the lay of the land about how to destroy these people with earth magic, I'm speaking first, thinking later. So I'm like, well, I'm Martin Caputi, former Baltimore detective. And I wasn't lying about what I said earlier. And we're looking for Eric too, but we didn't find him here. We found this guy tied up.
And why are you looking for Eric?
Are you going to be satisfied if I say that's our business?
No, not a bit.
I didn't think so.
I've had my suspicions about Eric for a long time, and I want to know what's going on.
What would you say the nature of your suspicions are? Well, I'll say like, yeah, well, there's a girl we all know named Diane, and we're looking for her. And the way we think we'll find her is through Eric. So that's why we're looking for him. Now, we didn't expect to come here and see this fella all tied up like we did, but that's how it worked out.
And Eric tied him up?
I mean, I can't confirm that, but I think so.
All right, so he turns to his guys and says, "Wait outside, fellas." And then when they go outside, he sort of closes the door as much as it can be. And he says, "Well, the truth is I didn't authorize Eric to be keeping nobody in here in a state like that. And I didn't authorize him to be bringing this kind of attention down on me either. And to be honest, I really don't like him. And I don't want him in my neighborhood anymore. Which is why I was coming over here, to convince him to leave. So maybe you guys have done me a favor. So we can just call it good here and you guys can get the hell out of my neighborhood."
All right, I think that was the plan.
Sounds good to me.
Can I ask you one thing, though? Have you seen, or do you know much about Eric?
No, I mean, I agreed to rent to him. But then, he's weird. And I don't like weird.
In what way?
I don't like his kind of weird. Well, I don't know. I'll just say I get an odd vibe from him. It's not a story I like to tell, but I've seen some weird things in this neighborhood that gave me the same sort of feeling I got from Eric. He keeps odd hours. Weird noises come from his place. Not the kind of weird noises you expect in a neighborhood like this. Somebody walks up and down the street yelling at shadows because they're high. That's fine. Somebody talking to shadows because he thinks they're real. That's totally different. Especially when there's no drugs involved.
Did Eric have a vehicle?
Yeah, he had a motorcycle.
I suppose this isn't the type of place to keep like parking passes for their tenants, is it?
My guys tell me he left a couple hours ago.
Okay.
I didn't, but then they said that someone was over here and I thought maybe he'd come back. So I came to chase him out. I don't know where he went.
Well, that's what we aim to find out, and we'll be out of your hair. I can't think of anything else to ask him. Anybody else?
No, I think
You're still trying to figure out how to envelop him in the earth. Go ahead and do it. It'll be funny.
Did he list any, previous locations where he left or lived or work or anything?
Yeah, I don't think it's that kind of arrangement.
I'm not that kind of landlord, buddy.
I'm going to the whatever housing board deals with this, buddy.
What type of HOA are you running here? There has to be tinfoil on all the windows.
And how much is rent?
Slumlord?
Asking for a friend.
So Earth is the element that governs magnetism.
I think we can kind of...
You don't want to use Earth magic?
We got what we want. We're not getting shot yet.
You can use it
one of these guys.
You can use it to put aspects like unsure footing and shaken on targets and weak foundation or tremors on a scene.
That's handy.
It can also put strong gravitational effects on targets, flattening them directly or pinning them down with something like
give them
3 times
Earth
as
gravity.
heavy.
Oh.
So those are the sorts of things you can do.
All right.
With evocation.
And blasting.
Right. That's evocation there. So, he says, you guys get the hell out of here. And if you do find him, tell him it'd really be best for him if he doesn't come back. And what the hell? It looks like he doesn't even have any stuff in here.
Yeah, we heard he's been hanging out somewhere else, mostly. We don't know where. But, okay, we'll leave. But on our decision, not yours. Sorry, that wasn't what I would say.
Shotguns come back up. Okay. Yeah, so they'll all stand aside and let you guys leave.
Yeah. Hopefully the car is still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, told you, Sean.
Yeah.
Well, it blended perfectly in with the neighborhood. They couldn't even tell it was something to be stolen.
Many of them thought it had been there their whole lives.
That's the car I used to hang out with. Remember that when we were kids? And then it drives away. What? You're high. You're too high.
Remember that car
Many
that
of them
used to
were
be out in front of that
driven
house over
immediately to madness.
See if you could get him comfortable, Sean.
Whoa, what kind
Yeah,
of a
put him
bassist
back.
do you think I am?
Real mellow bass line for the interview
The kind
process.
that uses his fingers.
Right. Not that mellow. Yeah, get him in the car. So what do you think we ought to do next? Actually take him somewhere to get some help, or do we know anybody? Are there like healers equivalent? Somebody off the books, somebody in our world?
Nope.
Because what's he look like? I guess he wasn't stabbed or shot, right?
Just got beat up real bad.
Yeah, we could say he got
So probably
jumped
a
or whatever.
concussion or whatever, yeah.
Worst comes to worst, we can take him back to Sean's and he can drink it off.
You think he can drink it off, Sean?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be all right. I've seen worse in
Maybe-
concerts.
Maybe right now we just head to the fort instead.
Right. Okay.
I know that the fort was mentioned because you mentioned it to John's character.
I would have mentioned it because he keeps saying Diane and the fort. Thought it was French for a minute, but I think he's talking about the old fort.
Yeah, so I think we should probably check out the fort first. Worst comes to worst, I can entomb him
What is this?
in earth.
You're like a squirrel wizard, just burying things everywhere.
You never know when you're going to need a corpse.
That's true. Yeah, I guess if as we drive off, Sean in the back seat, keeping him comfortable, I'll reach my arm over the bench seat, I would presume, in the front, big old long. So I'll reach and I'll try to talk to Frank a little bit, see if he'll open up now that he's not in his cell, so to speak, anymore.
Yeah. So, you get him into the car and stuff, and he sort of starts coming to more, and he'll tell you that he came here looking for Diane because she had said if anything ever happened to her, it would be Eric. And when he got here, Eric beat the hell out of him and tied him up, and then he took Diane and left. And he was saying something about Fort McHenry.
Okay.
And something about Lay's.
Ley lines, yeah.
Potato
Yeah,
chips.
ley lines, whatever
I
the
think he
hell
was
that
talking
is.
about chips.
Did he just give you a regular beating, or was there anything weird about it?
Well, I don't know.
It's kind of odd when I get beat.
I mean, he hit me, and after that, I don't know. I mean, what do you mean odd about it?
Nothing.
Like, he's a better fighter than I thought he'd be. He'd hit harder than I thought he could, too.
Right.
That's, I guess, kind of weird.
But nobody was really putting money on you,
You
Frank.
guys
so-
got to call the police. We got to get the police involved.
Here?
Yeah, so he reaches in his pocket, pulls out a cell phone,
Look, save the breath. They're not.
sparks.
Oh.
As soon as he starts trying to type in it, it sparks and it starts smoking, and
Thanks,
he's like,
Zach.
Throws it
pretty handy.
down on the floor of the car when it's smoking down there by your feet.
Pick that up and get that out of here.
Just
I'll
grab
growl
it
at
and
him.
throw it out the window.
Are you Harrison Ford?
Probably.
Like modern Harrison? Sound like you chew gravel.
Like a Nick Nolte. There we go.
Nick Nolte, yeah. Especially like in Tropic Thunder.
Right.
Or put these boys through there. Is that how they're explaining why there's like no evidence, like photographic evidence of like magic and creatures? Is that
pops all
it
the
pops
tech.
all the tech?
No. Like the real explanation for why the whole world doesn't think any of this stuff exists is because they don't want to.
Oh, okay.
But that does play a part in it. But every time somebody gets like something on video or whatever, it's just immediately it's a hoax. It's
Right.
People don't want to believe in this stuff, so they don't, and that's basically the state of the world, right?
All right.
Well, look, Frank, you're going to tell them that you got jumped walking into East Green, and they're going to be like, why'd you walk into East Green? They're not going to do anything about it. So that's not an option.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
Did Eric say anything to you after he had you tied up?
No.
He was just gone?
Yeah. I heard Diane screaming and he was dragging her out, and that was it.
So she was there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had her here. But he really packs a wallop.
Well, you want us to drop you anywhere? You want to come along? I handed my gun. You know how to
He
shoot that
passes out.
thing? Oh, okay. He'll be all right. All right, so I think we're heading towards Fort McCracken?
McKinley?
McKinley.
McHenry.
McHenry.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm going to entomb it all.
It's like we got 4 different forts to choose from, fellas.
We come up and it's just a signpost with 4 different arrows.
McCracken, McHenry, and whichever McMillan.
McKinley.
Yeah,
McKinley.
McKinley.
And now McMillan.
New sign appears.
McMillan, isn't that one guy from that One Day movie where he gets the fake ID and is trying to buy booze?
No, that's
No, that's
McLovin.
McLovin. Now there's McLovin.
Oh, no.
Extra sign.
That's like a good cursed road.
All right. So are you guys just going to go straight there?
I guess-
Yeah, unless they have something else, I'm just going to drive straight there.
I might be given my, what do you call them, my aspects. I might be tied up enough in those to do something like that without thinking it through. Because this trigger's like white knight, can't let it go. Everything's firing. I'm like, we got to get there. I'm frothing at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he were to die, Diane would be looking for a shoulder to grieve on.
Ah! I'm right at the edge.
You could just happen to be that person, right? I can't do it. I'm trying to do the, what is it? Oh, what was his name? I can't remember his name. But the Shelley's crazy boyfriend from Sin City. That means you're, what is it, Del Toro? The guy is
that guy. Yeah.
sitting in the passenger seat.
Right.
Smoke or smoke.
Smokers smoke when the chips are down.
Yeah, so Fort McHenry is the site of the famous 1814 battle between American and British warships that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner. And it's a national monument visited by hundreds of tourists daily. There's a handful of U.S. park rangers and dozens of employees that operate the park, although it'll be closed right now. It's very well maintained. The walls, the fortifications, and buildings are all in excellent condition. And that's what you guys know about Fort McHenry.
Well, we're here. How are we going to get in there?
Well,
Is there any,
pretty
go for it.
stealthy in certain situations?
okay.
This
Is-
might be
is-
one of them.
Is it obvious? Is there an obvious opening when we pull up? Is there a car there as well, or a bike? You drove a bike?
Yeah, there is a motorcycle. There's various vehicles still parked in the lot there, from who knows who. But, you can see, like, it's got the outer lights on and stuff like a closed business does. But then there's, like, a front door that's closed.
There's just a motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a motorcycle and several cars.
Right.
Um,
It'd be kind of hard to bring an unwilling woman on the back of your motorcycle.
Well, you just got to get up to speed. That gets kind of hard to...
for them to do anything else.
So you guys pull in and there's like a blockhouse at the front, like a guard house,
Yeah.
would have. And that's, by where people would enter the fort when tours are going. And you can see there's like a flickering light coming from there, and then like the little door is partially open.
Oh,
That's what
maybe
you can see
somebody
from
already
here.
bust in here. Well, we better take a closer look at that. Yeah, let's.
We might also have the element of surprise. He might not be expecting anyone to come for Diane.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we send Sean in first.
Yeah,
Keep a decent pace behind him. All right,
I agree. Let's do it.
Sean.
All right. This place is supposed to be abandoned, though, right? It's not.
No.
Okay.
It's a what is it? Not a park, a
It's
monument?
a tourist
or-
attraction.
Yeah, tourist
but it's
attraction.
closed right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's very well taken care of.
I am going to I'm gonna shapeshift into a wolf because I'm sneakier that way.
Okay.
And you're hungrier.
No.
Well, the only problem is the 5-minute werewolf transformation scene.
No, you're an American werewolf and London
Oh.
werewolf.
It only lasts a few seconds.
That's no fun.
Man, 5-minute transformation scene for a few seconds of werewolf time.
He's all screaming and his clothes are tearing off.
Yeah.
When you're gonna fight somebody in the bar, you're like, "Hold on a sec."
Get one bite off, and then you're. We never seen him turn back. Do you think his transformation from wolf to human is just as violent, or do you think it's like because of it's a bad curse that it's like, we don't care. You're not going to remember this.
I think they're always just a quick cut, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll be like you'll
Yeah, he
hear
wakes
some
up naked
noise
in
and
the
then he's
zoo.
like laying there sleeping.
All right. So you change into werewolf form, and then what?
So I should. Let's see. I guess I will try to use my improved sense of hearing to find out where they're at and stealthily move that way.
So he described that it looked like there's some disturbance in that box house, right? Like the door was slightly ajar with a flickering light,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What type of werewolf? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say
I was
I can listen and see if I can hear maybe breathing, or I don't know if they're talking. Hear what I hear.
All right. So you have.
Sorry. What type of werewolf is he? Is he like Wolfman werewolf, or is he like
No, he's a wolf.
wolf?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I was imagining him in like a
The only
leather rocker's jacket, but just a werewolf.
No, the
bipedal.
only it does like he'd have to, and he would know he needs to take off his clothes first because it'll.
Yeah.
Good. Sneak up there, Sean.
Yeah, they don't meld into me.
Stripping down, getting naked. Now I'm invisible. No, Sean, you're just naked.
Yeah,
It's just like every other basis.
I mean, the only difference that between him and the wolf that you'd notice for you New Englanders is he's way bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like timber wolf sized.
Yeah.
Like real ones that we have over here, not like the sissy wolves they might have over there, in a zoo or whatever, which are basically coyotes. All right, so you change into a real wolf, not like the sissy version they have over there. And I don't know what kind of wolves they have over there. I just know they're sissy versions. So, and then you start approaching that because New England's a joke, dude. Anyway,
Do you want me to
You
roll
s-
an athletics so that we have a baseline for my stealth? Or
sure.
Oh, athletics is stealth?
and it can be.
It's
I'm decent at stealth too.
I thought stealth was its own thing.
Too many chili dogs
Maybe
there.
it is. Oh yeah, no, it has its own. I thought it was under athletics as well.
Son of a.
This thing is just incredibly well laid out. All right, so let me look at what that skill looks like.
Well, you have it in your
Yeah.
werewolf form.
As what I'm trying to figure out in here, though, is like there's all these bonuses that I get to these. I just don't think that they're actually factored in right now to these skills, because the skills, I can shuffle my skills when I change, which it looks like they already have.
Yeah.
But there's also bonuses that I'm supposed to get just based off the powers that it doesn't look like it was factoring into those.
So yeah, you'll have a +8 for your initiative and a +1 for your athletics. And then your fists is more damage because it's not fists anymore.
Yeah, it's a weapon 4.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to do your stealth and set the baseline, go ahead.
No, it's just the difficulty factors due to moving are reduced by 2 when rolling stealth. I don't know what that means. So a 5 superb stealth.
All right, so you guys watch as he starts padding off across the parking lot and approaches that gatehouse. And when you get about 100 feet away from it, you can hear breathing and you can smell blood. The breathing is agonal. It's the death rattles that someone goes through when they're dying, where they take like the maximum breath they can. It is something you recognize for sure.
This is a weak creature, and it will be dinner. Now I'm just here for food.
That's basically how it turned out for me every time I shapeshifted in Skyrim.
Just here for my meal, and then I'll be leaving.
Quick snack.
All right, yeah, I'll continue to go closer and see what my wolf eyes see in the interior.
Oh, we'll give you a couple minute count, and then we'll start following you on foot.
Yeah, should be good enough.
Okay. Yeah. So inside that blockhouse there, you find there's a female park ranger slumped up against the wall with, blood pooling underneath her. She's like sitting with her back against the wall, and you can tell she dragged herself there, but now she's basically dead.
Your kind has harassed me since the beginning of your agency. Now's the time for justice. Rip her throat out. I'll just pad by quietly.
Hey,
is it an open area in here as well, like doorways, or are there actual doors?
Yeah, it's pretty big. This is the basically the first room of it, where they've got the window that looks out over the parking lot, but there's a door not far from her that leads further into it.
Open or closed?
It's open.
All right, I'll continue in through there. I was keeping I guess, can I do an alertness?
Yeah.
For listening.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have scent?
I mean, it doesn't say it in here. I don't know if that was a mistake or not.
It says that I can choose, like, that beast sense is something.
Okay.
Where I can choose a sense type, and in this case, they had taken hearing rather than like scent. I don't know if that can be changed or not, but that's what I'm gonna go off of, is the hearing part of this.
Okay, roll it.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. We'll just keep...
It's over legendary.
Yeah, we'll keep
11.
that in mind. We'll keep that in mind as we go forward. Right now, the only thing that you are hearing is like the soft whistle of a breeze coming from further inside this blockhouse. So inside that next room, you find that there is a stairwell that leads down into a basement level. And then what did you guys want to do now?
I think we were following behind him after a few minutes.
Okay.
Right, so...
All right. So then, Sean, down in that basement, you can see it's much bigger down in the underground level. But the first room you come to, you can see there's another entry towards the fort itself and another off to the right-hand side. And there's bloody footprints going towards the one through the doorway that leads towards the fort, inside the fort. Well, under the fort, I guess.
Just a single scent, and are they footprints or are they like boot or shoe prints?
Yeah, shoe prints.
Okay. As just a single set?
Yeah, from somebody who stepped in the
blood.
from
Okay.
the park
Yeah, that's
ranger.
what I was trying to figure out. Is it someone bleeding or is it more someone stepped in it? All right, I'll continue that way and continue to follow those.
All right, so in that next room, they've got, file cabinets and things like that, old records, tables in here. And there's more doorways that lead further on into other rooms. But this is where you hear that breeze. And you can see that over in the corner through this, like they've got a chain link corner fenced off with a gate that's been busted open. And inside that little area, there's the water pipe. And this is, where like the water pipe that connects to the fire suppression system, it's kept behind a gate so people can't fiddle with it. So it's got the real big, thick pipe and the meters that the inspectors would look at. But also on the wall next to it, the wall's been pushed in. It's like a secret tunnel entrance, and that's what you see from here. And you can hear the wind, the breeze whistling from that tunnel. That from where you are, you can see that it leads downward.
Okay.
It's an earthen tunnel. It's nobody made it. I mean, they dug it, but nobody put bricks in or anything. It's just a earth and rock tunnel.
All right, I'll go, I guess, up and over the rubble, if there is any, and start making my way down into the depths.
All right, so this is the time when you two reach that blockhouse and you step in and you can see the dead park ranger.
Yeah, how was she killed? I missed that.
Well, something did extreme damage to her midsection.
But not like a blade
It looks too messy for that.
tears in like an animal almost.
Can I try a site making my lore into a investigation?
Yeah.
See if it was magical. So, where is it? Lore is a 2, +1 from sight. 4. So great.
Okay.
I also think I remember reading somewhere that there was like magic that they don't really consider like important, like enough to like roll for. And one of the examples was like making light. Do you remember reading that anywhere? Can I do that if we need light?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the end of my staff will give off a dim light when we get in here.
Okay. All right. So you're using... Let's see what you've discovered here.
I need to start using these fate points.
Yeah, what do we use those for?
You can add a +1 to any roll. They say it's not a very good use. You want to kind of work an aspect into it, and then you get a +2. You can also add something to the scene, sort of like what was it, Edge in Shadowrun Anarchy? But there were limitations to it. Like, as the clear the game master, it can't be used to like win the scene outright, and it's better if your aspect's involved as well. So in this one, I could say like, what would be an idea? I don't know. I can't even think with my character.
So I'll say what you're seeing here, Zach. is that air evocation with air magic has done this damage to her body.
Compressed air.
Basically someone blasted her so hard that it ripped her open.
Evocation, air magic, just slammed it into her, caved her chest in.
Doesn't that get you wizards in trouble?
Quite a bit. But I think he was already on the outs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Warden's after him. Damn it, Diane, what'd you get yourself into? I gotta say that once a session.
We don't have to worry too much about security cameras, right? Because of the gremlins?
Yeah, I mean, unless they're far enough away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suggest we hurry after Sean. Eric's already dead man walking. I hate to think about what he might be trying to do or what he's up to.
Yeah, let's get to Diane.
Okay, so you guys continue.
Shifting?
No, that's just
And to bigger cop.
Yeah.
just Nick Nolte-ing.
Well, me and Sean are buddies, so I guess I kind of know that he's got good hearing, right?
Yeah.
Right, John?
Yep.
So I'll kind of maybe tap my staff on the floor a couple times, see if he picks up on it.
You have a soundless dog whistle you worked out.
That's actually not a bad idea. What is that, fake point for a soundless dog whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll reach in my pocket of my coat and I'll pull out a dog whistle and I'll really gently give it a couple quick blows.
Okay. Yeah, and you hear that, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, I'll, how far into the tunnel have I gone?
Not very far.
All right. I guess the other question is how quickly could I get back up to?
It would, a minute.
Pretty quick. Okay. Yeah, I'll scramble back up stairs and to where I heard that coming from.
Too bad I don't have the lying skill. Otherwise, I'd be telling you right now, Travis, about how careful you need to be when he's in this form.
Yeah, but so you blow on that whistle, and not long later, he comes trotting up to you guys, and he can't talk in that form. So
yeah, I'll.
What is it, boy? What is it?
I don't see any rules on how many times I can change.
Well, does it cause you stress to change?
It doesn't say that it does.
Then you can do as much as you want.
Yeah, I mean, it seems relatively balanced, right? I mean, you lose the ability to be a person.
Yeah, I guess I'll change back then and explain that. Say that he's taking her downstairs. As there's a tunnel that was walled off. It's been broken out. So that's as far as I've gotten. There's no signs that no signs of any real foul play with it yet, though. It's like the only blood here is from her, and I'll point over at the ranger. But it does get pretty dark down there. I didn't see any light.
I have light on my staff.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter that park ranger over there signed his death warrant, so.
All right. Well, I would say maybe a little bit closer. Does probably only give me just a 20 count or so. Is all I can get back down pretty quick. But I'll give them just a quick direction of downstairs over here, right into this corner with the cage, and then they'll see the wall blown out.
All right.
And then
Be careful. That air magic will mess you up if you let him see you first.
I'll make sure that I'm first to respond. I'll put on my firefighter outfit, first responder.
Now you're Paw Patrol.
I'll Oh man, sorry. I'll shapeshift back to Wolf and then just sprint down, back down into the depths.
All right, and then you guys?
Yeah, we'll give him 20 count and follow after.
Okay.
The kid in me wants to arm myself, just like the detectives I watched growing up. I think I'll do it.
With what?
Martin
Pull
has a
out
gun.
your bazooka. Everybody knows retired detectives carry bazookas.
Okay. So he heads down into the tunnel, and then you guys follow a little ways afterwards. So it's sort of a tight fit for you walking up on two legs. You got to hunch over a little bit, but these tunnels go on for quite a long time, and it takes a while, probably about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of loping along this tunnel before you reach an area where it branches, Sean. So you come to an area where it goes off. Then there's 3 different directions you could go. So that's where you'd have to either leave a mark for them to follow or decide which way you're going to go.
Can I don't even know what it would be. Investigation, whatever I'm using for hearing, alertness. Sorry. Could I use that roll, or do you want me to roll another one? This is just to listen, see if I can hear anything echoing down any of those directions. Like I'll go into the tunnel just a little bit, into each one, and listen.
Yeah, we can use that roll.
Okay.
And that shows you which tunnel to go down.
All right. I will... oh, sorry, go ahead.
So, basically what you're hearing down that tunnel... Well, you picked that tunnel because you're not hearing anything down the other tunnels. But this one you are hearing a sound, although you can't really determine what exactly it is. It's too faint. It could be maybe some machinery or just a different sound of the wind. But the other 2 tunnels, you're not hearing anything down. So,
okay. What is the? Is there like soft dirt or anything in here, or is it all like hard rock?
It's just rock and dirt.
Okay, as I will. You're gonna love this.
Mark it.
Yep, I'm gonna mark it. The tunnel that I'm going down.
Okay.
And then head that way.
All right. And then that one that you pick goes in a relatively straight direction, and you guess that it's taking you further underneath the fort itself. And then Sean or Zach and Martin, you guys reach this area where there's 3 different directions you could go.
Why they got all these tunnels down here? I got this Nehemiah can't do that. It smells like dog piss down here.
So you're able to see with the help of Zach's staff, and you can see there's an area on the ground in the tunnel that's going north.
Yeah,
where Zach relieved himself.
Well, hopefully not me.
Right. Sean,
if this is the spot, this is the spot. Whip it out, boys.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
I got to mark higher. But anyway, he went this way.
All right, and then I'll have you both roll alertness as well.
Okay.
One.
Great.
All right, so you guys head off towards down that tunnel that he marked. But as you start moving down that, Martin, you hear a sound coming from one of the other tunnels. It's like a scrape across rock.
As we were going down. So we're like turning and I hear it from the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll look that way.
You don't see anything.
I had a little, if you want me to spend a fate point, I figure I had one of those detective little flashlights they always put in their mouth when they're looking at something,
Yeah.
And I I was going to put it out when we got in the dark area, but then he had a wizard staff. So I was like, put it back in my pocket.
Yeah.
But can I take that out? Did you want a fate point for having a piece of gear like that?
No.
And
it only works when it's in your mouth. though.
right. Flash it down that way where I heard the sound, see if I can see anything.
Okay.
I'll be like, what's that?
Down the south.
Rats down here in these duck beasts.
You'd heard it no problem if your staff wasn't so loud. Claking and clacking. Finger wiggling. Only way I need to wiggle my fingers like this.
Okay. So you shine your flashlight down that direction,
Yeah.
and you don't see anything at first, but then something steps into view at the end of the light beam there as the tunnel goes around a corner. And so what you're looking at then, you're staring down there, and you see something that looks like a Japanese horror cartoon. It's like hunched shoulders, gray skin covered in short, wiry hairs. It has the worst features of mankind, hyena, and baboon all mixed together. Stunted, but very powerful legs and arms that are too long, hands that have jagged spurs of bone sticking out from all around it, and wicked sharp teeth and glowing eyes. And it's breathing heavy as it stares at you.
We're in a spot of trouble here, Zach. I'll aim at it, see what it does, I guess. But yeah, I'll call Zach's attention. I'm like, there's something back here. I don't know what the hell it is.
Company, boy. Yeah, I'll turn and look. Lore?
So you turn, but you guys had started in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's blocking your path now.
Oh.
When you turn
Out of my way.
So you can't.
Let me get out of this revolution tunnel. I don't know what are they building these tunnels for.
So you'd have to sidle up next to him.
All right, I'll put my hands on his shoulders and look over.
Okay.
Yeah, I got flashlight. Well, I guess I'm doing the thing,
Aim, flashlight, and gun.
Yeah.
This way I can switch from seeing something to shooting something.
So yeah, as you step up next to him and he's got that flashlight, and you try to look down that tunnel,
Yeah.
but his flashlight goes out.
Oh.
Ding, ain't made in America no more.
Too close to the wizard.
Oh, yeah.
So it flickers and you tap it, but then it goes out.
Piece of crap.
I'll put my staff out in front.
Yeah, so yours doesn't shine in a beam like that, so you can't actually see what he was looking at.
Can I make it brighter?
You could try. Yeah, let's say let's see how we well,
in that example I read, it was these are spells that aren't they're useful, but they're not worth anything basically.
Yeah,
so.
it's mundane.
Yeah.
In the magic rules.
yeah, let's look.
Which is weird because it's magic. It's innately not mundane.
Yeah.
It's,
But I think
in its usage and
this genre has urban fantasy has
Page 250.
a mundane level, and then everything gets real weird from there, right? Usually how most urban fantasy I read is.
They say that you might want to consider them preschool magic for babies.
Light's the most important spell a wizard can learn. Gotta see what you're aiming at.
Yeah, okay. So it says at most a fate point might be required if the minor effect counters a scene aspect that might be inconvenient, which in this case the aspect would be, dark underground. So yeah, for a fate point.
Yeah.
Well, it's, because then we'll be done anyway. But you put a little more juice into your staff and that light beam.
Yeah, can I make it directional or more directional or something too?
Yeah.
So that way I don't blind solid nullity over here.
Yep. And it spreads enough light that you can see down that tunnel, and you can see what you instantly recognize as a ghoul.
Oh.
Also, because you added more power to that light, it enables you to see down the other tunnel you didn't take, where you see another ghoul.
Ghouls.
And that's where we'll have to stop for the day.
Ah, crap.
Thanks for nothing. Oh, you blue ballin'. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was fun. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.